How you doing, fight fans? This is Boxing Knowledge coming at you guys once again. This time with a video about the up-and-coming fight between Sergio La Maravilla Martinez and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Oh man, I know you guys have been excited about this fight. I can't wait to analyze these fighters and break down what I believe is going to happen come September when these two get together. And I'm hoping that that'll be the case because a lot of times things happen and fights get delayed. Injuries and management issues, and I just hope none of that delays the fight between these two guys. Anyway, so let's talk about both fighters. Let's talk about Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I believe off the top of my head, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. record is 46-0-1-1. That one, it was a draw, and the other one was a no contest. That one draw he got against junior middleweight sensation Carlos Molina, a very legitimate, top, in my opinion, top 5 contender in the 154-pound division. The guy's got a very awkward, crafty style, and would have beaten James Kirkland if the ref didn't make a bad call and disqualify his corner for, I guess, apparently jumping in before the sound of the bell. Too bad for him, but everybody knows Molina is a force to be reckoned with. And what can I say? A lot of people believe that he won. They actually fought twice. That he won both fights against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. But anyway, he has a no contest. I don't remember what that one was for. But let's break down Julio Cesar Chavez's last opponents. He fought against Sebastian Spink, an excellent technician out of Germany. Not much punching power. I saw the fight. I believe Spink barely edged out that fight. He was just connecting like at will against Julio Cesar Chavez, and Chavez Jr. just walked right through the punches. I suspected it was because Spink didn't have any power to hurt him, but as I'll explain further on, I don't believe that was the case. Yeah, I believe that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. lost that fight against Sebastian Spink. I think Spink did enough. Yeah, I understand that Julio Cesar Chavez wore Spink down with his relentless body attack, and Spink he slowed down, but I think Spink did enough to win that fight. That's a whole nother animal. Don't really want to talk about that right now, but nevertheless, he gained his middleweight crown, his WBC alphabet title, off of Sebastian Spink. So then who does he fight next? He fought against Peter Manfredo Jr. A Italian fighter out of Providence, Rhode Island. Way, in my opinion, past his prime. He's just a fringe contender. He's got a pretty decent name because he fought a lot of big names. But other than that, it was just, I guess, just someone to throw in there against Julio Cesar Chavez. An easy defense. But I want to talk more about the last two opponents, okay? He fought Marco Antonio Rubio, a very dangerous, very serious middleweight contender. Marco Antonio Rubio was coming off stopping that kid from Canada. He was undefeated, big, strong kid, last name Lemieux. Very, very convincing performance there. And I believe that Julio Cesar Chavez outweighed Rubio by 20 pounds on fight night. It was just, he just looked so much bigger and so much stronger, and just pretty much overpowered Rubio. And I think Rubio got discouraged when he fought against Julio Cesar Chavez because he just couldn't hurt Chavez. So there's two guys that really couldn't hurt Chavez. And I'm referring to Sebastian Spink and Manfredo really couldn't hurt him either, but I mean, Spink landed a lot of punches, flush. I mean, from all angles, just landed at will and just could not phase this guy. Marco Antonio Rubio had a pretty good shots against him too. Just kept walking right through him. So I don't know why, but that victory against Marco Antonio Rubio, it was less competitive than I thought, and but for some reason it just didn't convince me of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s ability, or boxing ability, should I say. And then he fights Andy Lee. Okay, Andy Lee is no slouch. Okay, we have an excellent middleweight contender in Andy Lee with an excellent corner. Emmanuel Stewart is his trainer. In the beginning, Andy Lee was just doing very well. Actually, when the fight was stopped, I believe he was ahead on 2 out of the 3 judges' scorecards. So he just kept teeing off on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and just couldn't hurt him. In the fight, Julio Cesar Chavez, he just looked so big and so strong, and he refused to step on a scale, so we didn't have an unofficial weight, or right there during at fight night. But he just looked so big. He probably was weighing 185, 190 pounds that night. And it was quite interesting. I dissected Andy Lee's analysis after the fight. I just said, he's just so big, and it was Junior's ability to withstand Andy Lee's best punches that really turned the fight around. I don't know what's going on, but Junior just looks so big for that division. So which brings me to my final point. I think that Julio Cesar Chavez, will always outweigh his opponents by, approximately 20 pounds on fight night, which will give him an ability to be able to handle any punishment that most opponents can give him. Now, that being said, he also might have inherited his father's, uncanny ability to withstand these punches. His heck of a beard might be genes. Maybe he can take these punches because it's just built within him. But he's very intimidating because he just keeps coming, and you can't hurt him. And he quite often taunts his opponents because they can't hurt him. On top of that, he's got decent power, and he's just so much heavier, and he's got decent boxing ability. So and to quote Andy Lee, he's a lot better than people give him credit for. He was also briefly, albeit briefly, he was able to get inside of Andy Lee's, break his defenses and get inside and hit him a few times. On top of that, let's not forget about Junior's devastating body attack. He's an excellent body puncher. He really commits to the body, and I love that. So that pretty much sums up what I believe Junior's capable of, or how he got to this point. Now I want to take a brief time and talk about Sergio Martinez. I mean, come on. I don't have much to talk about him. This guy is a force to be reckoned with. He's the legitimate middleweight, king. He's got the Ring Magazine Lineal Championship in a very alive middleweight division with guys like Daniel Gill from I think that's his. I don't know how you say his last name, but Daniel Gill from Australia. All right, he's undefeated. You got guys like I think it's the Golovkin. All right, power puncher. Okay, he's some sort of Soviet background. I don't know if Kazakhstan or Russia, but he's a force. You got Dmitry Pirog, the guy who knocked out Daniel Jacobs to gain the WBO middleweight crown. Okay, he's undefeated. You got Felix Sturm holding down the fort. He's been around forever, but he's still just as effective. Matthew Macklin, he put up spirited effort against Martinez. The middleweight division is alive and well, and Sergio Martinez is at the top of the mountain. And I believe that Sergio Martinez is going to knock Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. out. I've seen Julio take so much punishment. I'm not even going to say punishment because he can't get hurt. He hasn't been hurt, but I've seen him take so many punches, just flush punches and combinations at will from a lot of guys like Andy Lee, like Marco Antonio Rubio, like Sebastian Spink. Um, but Sergio is heavy-handed, to say the least. Sergio, I believe, has enough power to put this guy away. I just don't see. It might go to decision, but you know, Julio Cesar Chavez is just too open. His defense is too flimsy, and he's running into a guy that can hurt you with both hands. Okay, he knocked down Paul Williams with a right. He's hurt him with lefts and right. We're talking about a guy who after winning the legitimate middleweight crown from Kelly Pavlik, has successfully defended it 4 times, all by knockout, against really good opposition, against an undefeated Sergey Zunzurich, 154 former 154 titleist, against Darren Barker, okay, an undefeated, the European middleweight coming over from England, who put up quite a spirited effort as well. Matthew Macklin, who pretty much beat Felix Sturm in his home in Germany. And who am I missing? Paul Williams for the second time. Okay, he's fought the cream of the middleweight division, in my opinion, and he's knocked them all out. I don't see how Julio Cesar Chavez can weather the onslaught of punches, and he might be able to if he takes Sergio into deeper waters and just is able to resist, the power of Sergio Martinez, then I can see maybe Cesar Chavez, I'm not going to say knocking Martinez out, but I could see him winning a decision if he can sort of weather the power that Martinez has. But Martinez has more than enough firepower to put him away. Okay, or to hurt him bad and to rock him back on his heels. If mark my words, if Julio Cesar Chavez goes into this fight open, the way he has been against his other opponents, like that I've mentioned, there's no way that he's gonna go the distance. Martinez is just too slick. He can anticipate. He's a great boxer. He can hurt you with both left and right hands. His boxing IQ is amazing, to say the least. But it's just the power we're talking about. This guy's 49-2-2. His 2 losses can be disputed, except for the one against Margarito when he was just a welterweight. Obviously that loss against Paul Williams, people don't consider that a loss. He had a draw against Kermit Cintron. That wasn't a draw. He knocked Kermit Cintron out. In any case, guys, put your money on Sergio Martinez. Okay, put him to win the fight. Put him to win the fight overall. If you want to take a higher risk gamble, put him to win by knockout. I've made 3 predictions thus far since I came out of retirement, and they've all been by knockout. Okay, Sergio Martinez, you have to believe that he is more heavy-handed than his predecessors. Okay, the people who have fought Junior before, he's gonna get a chance to rock him. If he doesn't knock Julio Cesar Chavez out, he's gonna hurt him, and hurt him multiple times. You can take that to the bank. So leave your comments. Please do not be afraid to comment. Just comment. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think I'm way off? Do you think I have, some sort of logic to my argument? I feel very, very confident that Sergio Martinez will win this, barring a sucker punch or just some weird fluke coming from the other side. But Martinez by KO, middle to late rounds. It's gonna happen, guys. It's time for Junior to finally be exposed. If he can weather those big shots, then he might have a chance. But Martinez is gonna take it. So there you have it. Leave your comments and don't forget to subscribe. Remember, boxing is intelligence.